What is up, Rad Potential YouTube? Welcome to a lovely rainy morning here at the Rad Ranch. So, back to some epic stuff, right? I got a lot of people wanting me to keep doing videos on the RX8. It's been real busy. I haven't really gotten to work on it too much, but we're going to work on it today. So, the first things first that I got to do before I get to that RX8 is I need to move the FD out of the way, and then you guys are going to be like, wow, this is a totally different world. Eric's getting his Corvette out, and it's a rainy day. And I got to get my Corvette out of the basement. So, reason being, if you've been around on the channel a little bit, I have a lot of cars, and I also don't have a lot of shop space because, well, I have a little one-car garage, and then you can't have a nice car without having a nice place to keep it. So I knocked this wall out and made it so I could store a car in my basement. Anyways, when you weigh a car, which is what we're going to do in this video, we're going to weigh the RX8. It's 100% in bone stock form. Minus, it has a front and rear strut brace on it, so add 10 pounds for that, and I don't think it has the factory under trays or the factory front bumper supports because, well, it's a little bit flimsy up there. Anyways, besides the point, when you weigh a car, you need to have a very level surface to do it on, and two, obviously, I don't want to be doing it in the rain, so here's the level of sketch that is my front bumper. Anyways, so I don't want to move my rally car, which is in the middle of my one-car garage. I have enough room in here to kind of fit two cars if I shove it over to the side, but moving that car over to the side is going to take me probably a half hour by myself. It's just kind of a pain jacking it up, moving it, jacking it up, moving it, etc. Right? So here's the rally car in the middle, so I can kind of shift it over here, but I have all the rally car parts over here, and my dirt bike's not clean yet, and there's just like 2 hours worth of work that's gonna keep me from doing that. So, because I want to get some RX8 content out for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna pull my Corvette out in the rain. It's gonna get parked out here in the rain, and I'm gonna bust the scales out and take the RX8 down in the basement, and we're gonna scale it in the comfort of my air-conditioned, humidity-controlled basement, which is gonna be epic. So, what I want to do is give you guys. So, mad thanks to my buddy Jeff, who has loaned me his automotive scales. So if you've never used these before, we use these in high school a lot, doing race car stuff. Basically, you have a scale pad just like this, one for each wheel, and then you have your controller, which resides all up in here. So this is the screen and all the little sensor wires to go to each scale. So what I may do, it's just kind of going to be a real pain, but I'd like to weigh the Corvette as well, maybe weigh the FD. So today might be a day of weighing cars, but you guys are going to get to see the RX8 get weighed. So I don't know, and maybe the carpet in here might act a little funky, but I think it should still be okay. This is a very flat surface, and if I need to put some boards or something down, some plywood down to get the scales to sit on it, we'll see. But now, to the RX8. I'm going to take this thing to the gas station and fill it up with fuel. The gas station's maybe a 10-minute drive away, 5-minute drive away. So, I want to do all of my weighing of this car throughout the years of owning it here and turning it into the track car that it's going to be with a full tank of gas, because that is going to level the playing field for full of fluids, full of coolant, full of whatever, right? Because if you imagine, if it only has a quarter tank of gas, I mean, he's got a pretty big gas tank. If it only has a quarter tank of gas, that's could be 40 pounds off the rear, right? So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to fire this thing up. I've got the battery on the charger in the shop. We'll put it in there, fire it up, move all these cars out of the way when we get back, and we'll put the RX8 in the shop. So let's go enjoy the lovely misfires of ripping a stock RX8 and the lovely Prius exhaust note, because you literally can't hear it. Your cars have like a learn sequence that they need to go through in order to establish like all your good idles and startups and all that stuff. So when you disconnect the battery, it resets all that stuff. So sometimes these cars in particular, the RX8s, will not like to idle or run when you first start them on a new tune. And then you can also reset it by, I think, turn the key on hit the brake pedal 10 times and it resets the deal. So, this RX8, I'll put the video where I got it, who it was, how it was, and I'm going to throw a towel in here because, you know, we got to bring the dog along to the gas station, right? It's always more fun to bring your dog, but she likes going for car rides. It's still learning its adaptations. When I pushed the clutch in at the stop sign 2-3 stop signs ago, it just died. And we had to figure it out. Fresh battery life, so I'm making it idle. We got full fuel. Back to the Rad Ranch. Finally, my traction control light went off. We still have a check engine light, which is okay. Alright, my dudes, so cars are all situated. We're chilling in the basement. It's kind of nice. Don't have to have socks and stuff on them down here. So we've got the scale turned on now. We have 0 on everything. If I put some weight right here, you'll see this go up. Boom. 40, 12. Okay, so I have this side of the car jacked up. Once this is zeroed, you're okay to put these under the car now. So I don't have a lift, so we just get to do one side at a time. Position that one. Over here. Position this one. Take your bets in the comments below. How much this unit weighs. Alright, so something that's not really going to matter too much in this video, but a scales tip. When you do scale a car and you have set the car down on the scales, the car is now loaded up and the suspension has some weird forces going on with it, right? When you jack a car up, you know the camber doesn't settle out. So one thing you kind of want to try to do before you actually go look at the scale and figure out what's going on, or you're going to try to corner balance it or whatever, go around. Just kind of push everything up and down a little bit. Try to get it to settle back out. If scales were big and you could roll on them, that was an interesting squeak, then you could just, it would already be settled. So maybe in the future, if we're going to be weighing a ton of cars, I might build some ramps for these scales. So you can just set the scales where you need to be and you drive the whole car and it goes up on the scales. Alright, get this sheet out of here for the dog. The trunk's empty. You've typed your guess in below. I'll tell you mine, 3278. That's my guess. Let's see. Oh, baby. 2997. Okay. 2997. Dang. So it's really not too bad. A little bit right side, heavy in the front. The left is dead nuts even. Wonder what's causing that. Could be just something weird with it maybe sitting on the carpet funny or something. Okay. Okay. Front 52%, rear 47%. Not bad. Let's go to left to right. So 49% left, 50% right, basically the same. Cross, left front, right rear, 47%. Cross, right front, left rear, 52%. Interesting. So it's seeing more weight this way than it is this way. Interesting. And let's put it back into pounds. So, 2997 and all the other assorted data. which, where were we at here? Let's look at the front to rear. We're 52% front, 47.8% rear. So, in today's video, here in a second, I'm going to rip out all the back interior in this car, and that's actually going to hurt the front to rear bias because a lot of that weight is coming off the back of the car, not so much off the front of the car, right? So, interesting. That's, so yeah, that's where the RX8 sits. I'm going to go yank this interior out, and then we're going to put it back on the scales and see what it does then. See how much weight we can save just by pulling basically from the driver's seats, the front seats back. We're going to get rid of all the trunk trim. We're going to get rid of all the, like, I'm going to cut the console off. We're going to cut the carpet out. We're going to pull, I'll probably pull the speakers out, pull the amplifiers out. I'm going to go ahead and pull, like, all that stuff out of the car because we don't need it. This car is going to be a track car. We don't need all that extra junk. And I have enough street cars, so we're not leaving this one a street car. Sorry. All right, my dudes. The interior looks fresh. So, as you guys just saw, we have removed everything from the driver's seats back. I was going to cut the carpet a little bit closer up behind the seats, but if you know, when you're on the racetrack, when you're doing aggressive driving, you might drop your phone out of your pocket, your keys, your whatever, right? If the carpet is cut under the seat, like what I was wanting to do, so I was going to cut the carpet up here, so that way for behind the seats was nothing, and then in front of the seats you had carpet and stuff. Well, say you drop something, it goes down, you hit the brakes, then it goes under your carpet, and then now you've lost something between the metal and the carpet, and it's going to be hard to get it out under your seat, right? So I left it here for now. I'm going to assume down the road that the carpet is going to get completely removed and cut out of this car, but for now it's actually secured like this. I didn't have to put any zip screws in it, and then all I did was trim the piece that would have been here in between the seats. And you can see as well, I cut the console right at, there would have been cup holders here. Those unbolt, and then I cut the silver piece right there, so just the front half of the console remains. And the thing that I like about that is because when you're in here and you're trying to operate things, you know, having this center console rest is nice, which mine is, you know, busted, doesn't stay closed, but this piece isn't cut or harmed, just the silver trim pieces are. And then you can still pop this back, open this up, and I wanted to leave this cigarette lighter right here because if I'm running cameras or if I ever need to charge my phone or run like a draggy or run anything like that, I now have two cigarette lighters, one up here in the front and one in the center console in the back. I really wanted to leave that there. It's already power provisioned and wired into the car, fused and everything. Why take it out? So, I'm ready to get this thing back on the scales, see how much weight we saved. If you saw, there was a huge pile of junk we removed from this thing, and we'll see if it actually made a difference. You know, I don't know. I'm thinking my preliminary guess is probably maybe like 80 pounds. Maybe 100. I'm going to say 80 pounds because it's not, those seats aren't heavy, the console's not heavy, there's just a lot of stuff. Pro tip, when you take apart your RX8 interior, the deck, like the shelf behind the seats, you just got to like rip that off. It doesn't just come off. There's no real screws. You pop the speaker covers off, just pull them off, and then the center section has some screws in it. But otherwise, really nothing crazy. The trunk interior, just a bunch of little plastic things. You pop those out. Fortunately, a lot of this insulation came out of here, the Harry style insulation. Obviously, this stuff's still mega glued on, but that's neither here nor there. And you got a much prettier view now of this Gretty strut brace back here. So, pretty stoked for that. We get this done. We get some coilovers. We get the seats in it. Get a fresh set of wheels and tires on it, and this thing's about ready to go tear it up. So, and a steering wheel, because, well, my knees hit that one. So we got to fix that. But I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back on the scales, and we will see how much weight we saved. It's back on the scales. What's your guess? I cheated and looked at it already, but I was really close on my guess. So, by removing the entirety of the rear interior, we have saved, we were at $29.97 before, now we're at $29.27. So we have saved 70 pounds off the car. So, still a little front right heavy. So the right side's a little off front to rear, no big deal. So let's go ahead and swap over and see what the cross is now. So if you look, if you remember, we were at like 52% front, 48% rear. Now we're at 53.4 and 46.6. So like I said in the beginning of the video, that whole section of weight we just removed is behind the seat. So you're going to see the rear end get lighter, the front end get a little heavier. So, left to right, though, is dialed 50-50 on the nose. We were really close before, but now it's even better. I wonder what would be... I mean, there's nothing really that's heavier left or right that I took out. I mean, the rear seat belts are out, rear speakers, all that jazz. Maybe because the floor jack was on one side versus the other, but now we're 50-50, perfect left to right. So, left front, right rear, 47.8. I don't remember the number, but I don't think that changed that much. And right front, left rear, I don't think that changed that much either, 52, just because that's these two and that. But so there we go. Oh, dang it. Well, I hit the 0 button on accident, so I guess that's the end of the video. 2,927 pounds. Dang. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this is with a full tank of gas, full of oil, full of coolant. As long as I keep those variables the same throughout the life of weighing this car, assuming we don't put some sort of fuel cell or anything weird in it, that should stay constant, which will allows you guys to replicate similar things. So if you have an RX8, it's a touring, and you have a full tank of gas, it probably weighs about 3,000 pounds. So with that, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you enjoyed this video in my basement and my awesome mural over here, and eventually I'll build a bar up there and it'll be a sweet little hangout spot. But besides the point, thank you guys very much for watching. Drop a comment below any other sort of modifications you want to see me do on the RX8, because, well, I'm going to make videos on it as best I can to keep it relevant, but there is other projects that don't necessarily come before this one, but I've got a lot of projects going on at the same time, so let me know what you guys want to see, and I can get stuff filmed on it and get it on my video list and get it out to you guys. So next big thing on the RX8 we're going to be doing is picking up a set of wheels for this car, servicing the brakes on this car, doing a fresh oil change, and then probably in that same video we'll strip the intakes and stuff off, ideally, and try to clean up and replace as much of that stuff as we can. So we can get, if you remember, this car won't rev really happily past like 6,200 RPM. So we need to get in there, clean some stuff up, get the thing made nice again. So that is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Keep it rad. You tired? Hey, can you jump? Jump. Come on. Jump. Jump. Oh, not tired enough. Jump. Come on. No. Gotta scratch yourself first.